Hello, and today I'm going to talk about the stock market, more specifically, stocks. Now, first of all, I apologize for the crappy FPS, but for some reason Hypercam it won't go into sync with the audio, and it speeds up the clip if it's not at a certain FPS. So, until I can get that worked out, or until I can get a better camera, I will have to keep it at 5 FPS, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way things go, I guess. Anyhow, stocks are a thing that everyone's heard of. Well, everyone over the age of like 12 maybe, but nonetheless, everyone's heard of them. But a lot of people don't know how they work or why they're there. They just simply know that if you buy low, you sell high. You go to eTrade.com or whatever, and companies like Google and stuff have stocks. You see it on the news, the stock market crashed, whatever. But a lot of people don't know how they work. So I'm going to be here and explain how exactly they do work. As you can see, that I am using Paint, which I will just use as a visual description, I guess. But mainly, talking is going to be the main way of communication in this video, anyways. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's just say that we have a person named, I don't know, Bob. Nice name, nice generic name, and he wants to start a business. So what does he do? Obviously, he doesn't have $1 million to start off a business, so he goes to the bank. He takes out a loan. So Bob builds this business. Let's just say building or making books, and he bought it for $1 million. There, 1M, 1 million. Put a little roof on it. So after a little bit, he gets this a lot of business, more business than he expected, and more business than he can actually take care of. He's producing so little books compared to how many people want them, you know. So what does he do? Well, he needs more money. How does he get more money? Answer: investors. He's gotten to the point where he needs to start taking out stocks. People need to invest in him and give them their money, betting on his success. Basically, when someone invests, they're betting on your success for you to be able to raise the stocks, for them to be able to sell and make a profit off of it. Obviously, you know, everyone's heard of the buy low, sell high thing. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. So, what it does is, Bob, let's say, we'll stick Bob here. He goes to the bank. There we go, bank. And he asks the bank if they'd give him another loan. He's already paid off his first loan after a few years. So, him and the banker take a little trip. Him and the banker take a little trip to Washington. So, they go into the courthouse. And they ask the judge, well, my business has grown large enough. You know, I would like to be able to get some investors. I'd like to be able to put this on the stock market for people to put money into me legally. To be able to get it out there for more people to be able to see it. Like, basically, you can give someone that money, but how do you tell tons of people, hey, I'm out there, you can invest in me? Well, you take it to the New York Stock Exchange. So, after Washington gives them their approval, they undergo inspection. They inspect Bob over here, and they inspect Bob's business, and they see if it is structurally sound to be able to support investors. After a long inspection, let's just say they decide that yes, it is. So, Bob builds a new building, a bigger building, with more equipment, and let's just say it's $5 million. It's worth $5 million. So, now it's time to decide, now that he's able to actually put out those stocks, it's time to decide how much are the stocks worth? How much should I be selling these for? Well, one way, you can just take the $5 million, which is, the building and everything in it. It's not just the building, it's, the equipment to make the books and paying, people working in there and all that. So let's just go ahead and assume that everything rounds off to $5 million. So if we take $5 million, and let's just say we, I don't know, divide it by 1 million. So if we divide it by 1 million, we should get $5 a stock. And 1 million stocks, because we divided by a million. So $5 of 1 million stocks. But wait a second. We can't have that, because then if someone were to buy all the stocks, they would just own the business. So instead, what you do is you don't take out the 5 million. Instead, half that. Oops. And then divide this by 1 million. I'll just abbreviate that. And you get $2.5 a stock. But once again, wait a second. We don't exactly want the stocks to be that low. We don't want the stocks to be that low. So what do? Well, instead, you could just lower the stocks. You could lower the number of stocks. You could cut this in half, and they would still be $5 a stock, $5 a share. However, you don't want that either. So what you do is, with the original equation here, we have 5 million. If we just divide that by 1 million again, you get $5. So you now have 1 million $5 stocks. What the owner does is, let's just say he owns half of that. He buys half of that. He owns it. So he only decides to sell out a $500,000. They're still $5 a piece, though. So this is no longer 5 million. It's instead 2.5 in essence, but the stocks are still worth 5. So basically, let's rebuild Bob's building here. So basically, this is worth 5 million. Everything in it is worth 5 million. And people come by and they say, I want to invest in it. He's already put it up on the national stock market. Everyone can see it. He's getting loads of investors. He's, going crazy with it. His business is booming. And once again, he can't afford it anymore. He has to upgrade his building. But he's already got it set up, and he's upgraded it over time. Let's just say, X that out. His building is larger, snap down here, and is now worth 20 million. his business is now worth 20 million. Why? Because he has all of these investors over here who are betting on his success. They have, they have their money over here, let's just say 15 million, that they invest into the business. They can sell the shares at any time, but assuming that they don't all sell the shares, then he gets to use the money. Just like a bank, the bank takes in money that people invest into it. That's what it is. People invest into the bank uses the money, and people can gain interest off of it. In this case, the interest is if they buy low, if people bought these at $5 a share, multiply that by 4, and you get $20 a share. They resell them, they make a profit off of it, and the business is able to actually afford it because the business is bringing in so much money from resupplying it to, let's just say, this is a stack of books. The business is able to afford that because it's getting shipped off to more and more people. Let's just say they have 10 million customers. If this is getting shipped out to 10 million people because of this larger building, because these people have invested into it, more investors means a larger building, larger manufacturing facility, means more people buying. More people are able to buy, which means that more people are making money, or the business is making more money, and then in turn they're able to give a small portion out by people selling their stocks, and the people who invested in it and helped the business in essence get there in the first place. Without the investors, the business wouldn't be that big. So they help the business come to what they are, and in turn they get money out of it. And in turn the business is making boatloads of money by selling more to more people. Simple. If there's any questions, you can go ahead and leave it down in the comment section, depending on how many people actually watch the video. But if anyone has any questions, then they can message me or leave it down in the comment section or something like that, and I will gladly go back and re-explain that. This isn't, the best setup because obviously it's in Paint, but I think I explained it pretty well. And yeah, that's about it.